y'all, it's Shabby St. Hill and welcome back to my channel. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and today's video is going to be about how I started my modeling career and the trials and tribulations, the trials and errors, how it took years for me to get signed with an agency because I was basically doing what other people were telling me to do and not listening to my heart. Also, I'm wearing a lace front wig today. The front is so bad. Like, good thing that this video is gonna be blurry. Is there like a support group for women with bad lace fronts? Because like, I look so mean. But anyway, so today's video is gonna be about how I started modeling. It's a question that I get asked like all the time, and it's really hard for me to answer because it's like, first of all, it's a really long story, and secondly, like, there's no right way to start a modeling career. Like, there are girls who got discovered because they were in a coffee shop. The director saw them and handed them their card, and they got signed like 2 weeks later. There are girls whose photos went viral and had agencies like contacting them. There are girls who submitted or walked into agencies and just got lucky. There are girls who are like me that had agents reach out to them on Instagram. But before I had agents reach out to me on Instagram, it was like a 2-year process of me trying to model and trying to get signed and then saying, I'm gonna do my own thing, and then the agents came to me. I'm just gonna start the really long story from the beginning of how everything happened, how I started modeling and how I was trying to get into agencies and break into the industry. And hopefully inspire you to start right now, and just to show you that there's no right way that a modeling career can happen. I mean, there's definitely wrong ways to go about it, but yeah, I'm just gonna start from the beginning and just share the entire story. So, God, just ignore my wig throughout this process, please. Let's just pretend that it's not there. But anyway, 4 years ago, I was 20, I was playing volleyball at University of Maryland. I always wanted to model, I just picked volleyball instead when I was a teenager. And then after I quit because my knees hurt, I was like, oh, I live in New Jersey. So I was like, oh, I want to come home and chase my dreams and like be a model in the city. So I dropped out of school. My parents were here for it because they supported me through anything. Having a big support system is something that's really going to help you when you're first trying to model and just like throughout your modeling career. Basically, my family believing in me is what made the process doable. And also, like, if you say that you want to model and you talk to your friends about it and they say it's not going to work out for you, cut them off. When I first wanted to model, I would tell people that I was going to model and they would literally make fun of me. I cut them off. I was like, if you don't believe in me, you are not my friend. I don't need that around me. And I'm not saying to cut off your friends. I'm just saying that like having people around you that believe in you is something that's really going to push you forward. That's something that helped me a lot. And when I first tried to model 4 years ago, I was like, oh, I'm just going to walk into agencies and somebody's going to offer me a contract. It's not how it happened. I went to a dozen agencies. I went to their open calls. Nobody was interested in me at all. Like, every single agency turned me down. I didn't even get like a maybe we're interested, like come back. Like, it was all just, everybody was like, no, we are not interested. But and that's something that you can do. Like, agencies have open calls every week. If you look on an agency's website, they'll tell you when they have open calls. You walk in and you show them photos of yourself, and if they like you, then you'll come back and maybe you'll get signed and you can start modeling that way. And actually, when I was doing the open calls, there were some girls that went back to me agents, so it's totally possible to get signed that way. So most agencies have open calls on the same days at different times. So for 30 minutes, you're at this agency, and then you're on your way to the next agency, and then on your way to that agency. And after I got turned down by everybody, I became really close with this girl who also got turned down by everybody. And she said that this development agency reached out to her on Instagram and said that they could help her get signed. So this second method is going to a development agency. Now, this development agency was called Social New York, right? So I submitted my pictures to them, and they emailed me and said that they're interested and they want me to come in for a meeting. I met with them, and they said that they love me, that they want me to come in for their runway workshops so that they can groom me to become a model so that I can get signed. They made me pay like $125 for 3 workshops, right? At these runway workshops through Social New York, there's about 25 to 30 girls in a room. So when you walk in, they would take photos of you called your digitals, and then they would measure you and they'd weigh you in your bikini and heels and whatnot. Basically, every week or every 2 weeks, they tell you if you're skinny enough or not. You had to cross this threshold of being skinny enough for them to even send you out to agencies to get you signed, which is like their promise. Like, pay for these runway workshops, we'll groom you to be a model, and then you'll get signed. But you had to be skinny enough for them to even send you out for agencies. Like, the golden number for modeling in terms of measurements is like 34, 24, 34. And my measurements have never been that. The lowest I've ever been was a 35 and a half hip, and I maintained that for like 2 weeks, not even, because during that time I was starving myself. The anxiety of getting measured and weighed every single week and never being good enough because I'm not naturally a size 0, a size 2, it caused so much stress. Every time I went to their runway workshops, I was like, I'm not skinny enough, I'm not good enough. They would act like you deserved jail time. It was like being a 36 or 37 hip was like the worst thing that you could be. But at the same time, the girls that were skinny enough, they were getting signed to IMG, to Next. Like, Social New York has actually gotten girls signed to top agencies, and I will give them that. That was just not my reality with them. So I was with Social New York for like a year, but during that time, they kept telling me to lose weight. Photographers would reach out to me on Instagram, and Social New York would tell me, like, don't shoot with anybody because you're going to lose weight and you're not going to use those photos, so just focus on losing weight right now and don't take any pictures. I wasted a year of trying to be skinny enough, which is something that I never achieved, and not doing any photo shoots because I believed that this agency was going to get me signed, and that never happened. So I need to figure out what I need to do next. After that, I quit Social New York. They never gave me a contract, so I was free, pretty much. Like, I just stopped going, and I went back to all the photographers that had reached out to me and said, like, hey, like, sorry I didn't work out before, but I'm still really interested in doing a shoot with you. Do you still want to shoot with me? And all of them said yes, so that's when I started, like, focusing more on Instagram and building up my portfolio and, modeling. Like, it wasn't paid work, it was literally just me and a photographer in the city, but it was me actually modeling and me being happy with what I was doing. Learning how to do my own makeup, learning how to do my own hair, learning how to style myself, and just feeling what my vibe as a model would be. Because for a year and a half, when I was trying to get signed, I had never experienced any of that. I wasn't getting to know myself. I was just trying to impress people who wouldn't like me anyway. So Instagram is really what helped me be a signed model eventually. You have to, like, rebrand yourself if you had never modeled before and you want to be a model. You might have to delete your old Instagram and make a new one. Like, I deleted my old Instagram because, like, my old account was so dead. I had, like, 1,300 followers, and a good photo would get, like, 60 likes. I was having no engagement at all. I had that account for, like, 7 years. It was all my old friends that would, like, make fun of me if I posted a selfie. So I was, like, really nervous and, like, really scared to, like, come out and say that, like, no, I'm a model and, like, this is what I want to do. I just made a new Instagram and rebranded myself that way. Before I started actually, like, shooting with photographers, my content was, like, I was pretty much just showing people the different looks that I could do. Like, whether it was, like, a bobbed wig with, like, smoky eye, a red wig with, like, a liner look. I had braids. If you're not doing photo shoots but you want to be a model, make sure that people can look at your profile and say she is a model. Even if you're not, that's what changed it for me. At first, I was just shooting with literally anybody, people that weren't that good, because I wasn't that good. And then somebody that was at the next level would look and be like, oh, like, she's fire, like, I want to shoot with her. So then I would shoot with them, and then all of a sudden I'm shooting with their peers, and then somebody at the next level would be like, she's really cool, I want to shoot with her, and then I was shooting with their peers. And, like, that's really how you grow. You network, you shoot with people, you hope that people give you a chance. The people that want to work with you won't get better unless you get better. Instagram really, like, runs the industry in this day and age. And don't get discouraged if you don't have that many followers. When you're a good model, when you have a look and when you have a vibe, people will see that. So as I was building up my Instagram, I was, like, freelancing. I was really just shooting with people in the New Jersey, Philadelphia, and New York area. I got in contact with this girl who did, like, marketing for paper magazines, so I would do their, like, online editorials sometimes. There was a guy that I met by chance at a coffee shop, and he got me a job for Champion. Then this girl from California saw my work, and she said that she wanted to shoot with me. And something in my spirit told me, like, you need to go and shoot with this girl. So I literally booked a ticket to California. She was the only person I shot with. She was the first big photographer that took a chance on me. And when I came back, a big photographer in New York that follows her saw what we did together and reached out to me and was like, oh my god, I love what you did with her. Like, I would love to do the shoot with you. And to this day, those photos are in my portfolio. So if you want to freelance, it's all about networking and making sure that you're putting your best foot forward, because that's all you have. It's all about taking chances. Like, I literally flew across the country just to shoot with this one girl, and she was pretty much the one that like birthed my career. And then the first agency that I was signed to, called D1 Models, reached out to me. And this was 2 years after I first tried to model, and I went to those open calls. Me and them did some cool stuff, but about 6 months after I signed a 3-year contract with them, I didn't want to do it anymore. It felt like I was being haunted for like 3 months, because I was literally just like, how do I get out of being signed with this agency? Like, I had no way to get out. But then I was at a party and met this girl who was also with them, and she left because she had a manager. So she put me in contact with her manager. He wanted to sign me, and he knew what the deal was with D1. So he helped me leave them. And then when I left them, he set up meetings to other agencies to help me get signed to another agency. That's how I got signed to Muse. That's pretty much the broad story of how I became a model. It took years of taking other people's advice and doing what other people told me to do, and that not working out, and my career only growing when I started to focus on myself and love myself and work with people that wanted to work with me and climb the ladder that way. That's actually a big piece of advice I could give. Work with people that want to work with you and just like get better, because when you get better, the people that you work with will be better. The biggest mistake I made was trying to change myself to fit into this industry. If you walk into an agency and they tell you like, oh, like you have to lose weight, they don't want to sign you. I learned that the hard way too. If you really believe that you're going to get signed with them, so you go home, lose the weight, come back 2 months later, now it's your hairstyle isn't right. Then you go get a haircut. Now it's, oh, all of a sudden you have a pimple because you're so stressed out from trying to change yourself for this agency to accept you. If an agency really wants you, you don't have to change yourself. Agencies make excuses and they make room for girls that they love, for girls that they believe in. If you want to get signed and it doesn't happen, just use Instagram and work on yourself, work on your portfolio, and then circle back to the agency part. Like, if you don't get signed, it's not over. There's so many things that you can do. Agencies are not the end-all be-all, because people's opinions change all the time. 1 or 2 agencies telling you no and telling you that you can't does not mean that you can't model. It just means that that's not the right time. Times change. 4 years ago was not the right time for me to get signed. Like, the work that I put in for those first 2 years helped give me the stamina to get through the hard times. Like, I know how it feels to get rejected. Because if everything is so easy, if everybody keeps saying yes to you, it might be devastating when you get turned down. Be grateful for the times that you get turned down, because it'll make you stronger. But yeah, there's no standard way to have a successful modeling career. Like, if it's for you, it'll happen. Prove everybody wrong, because that's what I had to do. Like, I was working on my own because I knew that I could be a model. It was just a matter of how. Whether it's on your own, using Instagram, or with an agency, because both are absolutely possible. Agencies were reaching out to me like, this girl's a freelance model and she's already booking all this stuff, so if we send her out to our client base, like, she can get work. You know what I mean? But yeah, the biggest piece of advice I can give is to just like believe in yourself. Everybody's path is different. Don't compare yourself to other people, and just do anything and everything that you possibly can to make it happen, and it will happen. And you cannot let outsiders tell you what you can do with your own life. Like, you can take as much advice as you want, but ultimately, if you're chasing your own dream, like, there's no better way than finding your own way. There's going to be bumps, there's going to be turns, there's going to be stop signs, but just do what you feel is good in your heart. Your heart will never lead you astray. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this helped. Make sure you like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll be back next week. Bye, guys.